When I was growing up, starting my early middle school years, I got a job. I worked under the table and did paperwork for $10 an hour up to my junior year of high school and got paid physically by my mom's friend or the coworker at the time. I worked every school break I had and divvied my funds to prepare for college. And I also paid for my car in full and I bought everything that I wanted. I was raised to believe that people should start saving early, think of the big picture, and think about how money is going to fit in what they want to achieve. Unintangible money can't fit in a dream without worry. We know how much of it we have, but in the spur of the moment, it can be used quickly and dangerously. Potentially, it could spur into indebting oneself in a purchase, and will be more money than what you could have paid upfront with tangible money. I believe that it is more beneficial for the average college student to have cash on them over credit, debit, or even iPhone Pay. Debit is connected to what you have, what you physically own in the bank. If you do not have enough funds, overdraft will occur, which means your payment will be declined due to insufficient funds. But not many people memorize how much money they have in their savings. Using an app like, let's say, Lakeland Bank app lets you see how much you have of a certain fund and also allows you to make purchases knowing full well what you own. That is very helpful. Using it in person, like a J.C. Penney's, if anyone still goes there, is insufficient compared to pulling out cash that you just have in your wallet. One is more likely to know what they have on them in cash rather than a card or an app that you have to check before the purchase to make the purchase. However, one can use debit cards for online purchases such as Amazon or Steam, which is a great way to direct your savings fund to a purchase rather than a PayPal. That's the greatest weakness of cash, and there is no obstacle beyond that, unless one were to get gift cards constantly for purchases, which is impractical. Though a college student typically doesn't buy food online, one of their greatest purchases. Food is an outside area of the loan spectrum of college. One does not have to pay upfront for it unless it's part of their meal plan. According to Moline Ganson, on average cost of food per month for a college student, an average college student spends around $341 a month eating off campus. The campus meal plan averages $563 a month, and home cooked meals average around $206 a month when the cost of eating off campus was included. Budgeting is a huge problem with college, and I assure a majority of students would rather go out and not care as much with a swipe or a ping than plan out what they were budgeting for with cash. Though if 10 to 15% of students' money is spent solely off of food, it can add up exponentially. And we should know where our money is going and the right alternatives for a cheaper meal. Cash allows us to know how much we have and limit what we are spending. If it means that we have to seek a cheaper meal instead, then by all means, as long as we don't break the 10 to 50% average spent on food and potentially even reduce the fact. Owning a debit card is much better than a credit card unless one wants to build good credit for better interest rates and loans. But being indebted to money is a scary thing, especially as a fresh college student that just got their training wheels taken off. Thrown into the real world, there's so many things that could screw us over if we aren't careful, especially with our money. There's nothing scarier than waking up knowing how one is going to pay something off. Being indebted to something because you owe. Dave Ramsey, the author of The Total Money Makeover, which the book is about getting out of debt and staying out of debt, believes that as long as you have 1 cent in the red, you are never free from owing. It gets worse when one has to take a car loan and then a mortgage while paying off student debt, and then it all adds up and it can potentially haunt people because that money was taken and it wasn't owned by them. It was unintangible money and it will be more expensive in the long run rather than being able to take it on in full from the get go. Not everyone has the opportunity to be able to go through a full life debt free, but by trying hard, by monitoring cash, one can truly see what you are getting themselves into and reduce the rate at which their debt adds up by not putting any more in. iPhone Pay, I like to say, which is Google, Apple, and Samsung Pays, are relatively the same because they just send the pay from the ping of your phone. I like to refer to them as a debit credit hybrid, but also know them as a unique way to see your savings. while also being able to make purchase. That's it. I think Apple Pay is a great source of paying, second to cash, only because you have a lesser reservoir for on-hand purchases, walk-in stores and walk-in purchases. One is more likely to have less cash in here than less cash on a card. However, there aren't really accepted enough to be versatile everywhere. It's hard to find a mom and pop shop for something like, let's say, a coffee and be able to pay via iPhone. Definitely populated areas and tourist attractions have them because it's convenient for tourism and for the amount of people. But in a rural to suburban areas such as New Jersey, at which the side that we occupy at least, doesn't have as much due to our lesser population, even though we are the densest populated state in America. Cash is being separated the same way. Due to COVID-19, people would much rather swipe and ping because it's less touchy than grabbing a musty 20 out of your wallet and having someone break it and change, which is acceptable. Though having two potential paying methods like cash and iPhone Pay, or even debit, iPhone Pay, and cash is versatile in today's day and age. I hope that everyone knows how much money they have. Not money owed, but money that is lent, or or intangible numbers that are displayed on your phone, but rather the physical bills and checks. I'm merely a college student majoring in secondary education. I want to teach music and show students the benefits and possibilities of my subject. But to get through my higher education, myself and the college students alike should know what we are spending our money on and that cash may be a better option than what one would think. Thank you.